Good afternoon. This is Brian Kuzma from Commercial Rare Coins in a sunny Lauderdale by the Sea. And you know what? It's mostly always sunny here, except for this time of year where all you South Florida peeps like me know that it rains and gets windy. Uh, and that's what it is, rainy and windy off and on. But, you know, for the most part, it was a nice day today. Blue skies mostly. We'll see how the weekend holds up. And speaking of how the weekend's holding up, or how the week has held up, let's take a look at precious metals prices today. You know, kind of a pause, like I said yesterday when I did my big pause. And looks like it's sitting at that $1,900 level. Let's take a look at the New York spot price close because it closes first. New York closed at 1897.30. And let's take a look at the range. The low of 1892, a high of 1906. For all intents and purposes, New York is basically 1900. We met that mark. Let's see if it stays here, backs off a little bit. And again, that dirty pullback word, but it's not really a dirty word. It's kind of healthy. But you know, even healthier than pullbacks are pauses. Hey, they both begin with P. But pauses are just as healthy. And I think that's kind of what we've been getting this last. It's been making these really fast charges up, and it hasn't been pulling back dramatically. Maybe it's a good thing because that means there's no big sellers out there. Nobody's willing to sell and really trying to pull those markets down, even if they could momentarily, which could happen momentarily. Trying to hit those big pullbacks or those pullbacks is really tough. However, pauses are good, and it looks like we've got pauses here. So we're pausing at that $1,900 mark, and it looks like it's probably going to break there, but holds up over the weekend. I'm liking it. World markets is still open. It looks like world market's going to close above 1900. Isn't that cool? So really, for all intents and purposes, 1900. I think the all-time high is only a few bucks off from this, 1902 or something like that in the close. However, we're there. We're there. Now let's see where it goes from here. I don't think we're stopping at all. Silver, same thing. Pause. The big P, another big P, pausing. 2277 in the world market. 2280 is where it closed in New York. Very close to each other there. And a spread of about 50 cents. 2252 low, 2294 high. Almost very close here in the world spot prices as well. So silver taking a little pause, and that's a breather. Breathers are good. Again, I mean, you don't want to see these things just tick up, tick up, tick up really fast. You know, you want pullbacks, healthy pullbacks, and you want these healthy little pauses. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I was a little concerned because I haven't seen a pullback, but I'm seeing pauses. And platinum, let's take a look at platinum. 920 right now in the world market, 947. Looks like it's a little bit lower in the world market than it closed in New York. No less, it's like in that 925, 950 range here. And that's kind of what we're seeing on the low and the high here. So platinum, I still think underpriced. Silver, I still think underpriced. Remember, gold is like inches, millimeters even. Let's say millimeters in the world market, millimeters. Away from its all-time high. Silver is still less than half of its all-time high, and I think palladium is the same way, still less than half of its all-time high. Platinum, I'm sorry, not palladium. And palladium, what is palladium doing? I don't know what its all-time high was, quite frankly. I should. 3,000, 4,000, it's a crazy metal. I don't even understand how it gets to where it does. But maintaining, no less. So, not much to talk about here. Again, the big pause, P, as I'm spelling it out with my cursor. Not a pullback, but a pause, and I'm liking it. So we're sitting at 1900 on a close on a Friday, more or less, over the weekend. We hit it. We've hit our goal. So let's see where it goes from here next week. And let me take a look at Wall Street Journal. I always like to see if there's anything here that gives us indications what precious metals might do next week, next year even. China orders U.S. to close the retaliatory. Well, you know, the tensions between China here are never good for the world market or for anybody, really. So, you know, and they're playing tit for tat right now. I don't know who's worse, us or them, probably both. And our governments, both of our governments suck to some degree when it comes to certain things, and that's just my opinion. They ain't helping us, though. But this will help the price of gold, most likely. So even on a short-term level, I mean, you know, how bad can this get? Goldman settles, Bridgewater, Deacon's death. Really not too much here. Looks like, again, as I've been saying, the Dow's kind of like treading water in this same area here. You know, it looks like it has a little life shot into it, and then it just kind of putters along. Don't know much about stocks and bonds, so I'm not even going to quote there. But no less, I like to keep an eye on it, and maybe there are some correlations between the two. Let's take a look here. Oh, I like this little article as well. Jim Grant, he's a financial writer and publicist, very well-respected guy. And, he's long been skeptical of the Federal Reserve, as are a lot of people. You don't read much about that, but there are people out there very skeptical of the Federal Reserve, the way they handle things and such. And he wrote an op-ed for, well, let's move down here because I'm not going to read it word for word for you. Ground scraping interest rates turn savers into speculators and quarantine millennials into day traders. They facilitate overborrowing, suppressing market signals, misdirecting investment dollars, and promoting the dubious business of turning well-financed public companies into heavily indebted private ones. I mean, this is what's going on, and he knows it. Concerning the future and its side effects, Mr. Powell should admit how little he knows, he and the rest of us. So, he's kind of saying these companies are not making money on the products that they're putting out. They're not making money on, oh, we got a great product, everyone's buying it, we're making profits on it. No, they're making money with all kinds of financial hocus pocus, fooling with the numbers, tax laws, I mean, and getting huge amounts of money invested into their companies. I mean, they're just people, and they're talking about the millennials and the people that are financing these companies, just throwing cash at them. And that's the only reason these companies are profitable, is because people are throwing cash at them, not because they're doing anything good. And I'm sure there are a few companies that are doing good things out there, but again, I digress. I'm not a stock person. It's interesting he said this. However, this leads into something else here that I was going to point out. So what does this all mean? Let's take a look. It means a uniquely aggressive monetary stance. It means interest rates are no longer are prices that reliably direct investment flows and valuations. So that's kind of obvious, and I'm going to move down here because I don't want to make this too long. But I felt it was interesting that Grant said this. Grant pointed out that commodity prices are at their lowest level compared to the Dow in about 120 years. Say that one more time to yourself. Grant pointed out commodity prices, i.e. gold and silver and platinum and some other commodities, are their lowest levels compared to the Dow in about 120 years. That to me kind of lights a light. It reminds us that there may be an extreme valuation out there that might be inviting capital rather than thought to be repelling it. Is he talking about gold and silver? Grant, and afterwards he says, Grant said he's confidently bullish on precious metals. Well, again, I'm going to highlight this just for a second, and I know I don't want to bore you, but take this in. I mean, this guy, again, a well-respected writer and publicist, financial publicist, and what did he just say? Confidently bullish on precious metals, and he's very good at statistics. He knows his stuff. He says these commodity prices are at their lowest level compared to the Dow in 120 years, folks. So just think about when that Dow money starts flying into precious metals. And I think it might be starting right now to some degree. Wow, where the hell will we go from here? Well, anyways, this is Brian Kuzmar from Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. And you can call me anytime at 954-493-8811. We're here 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. We have a brick and mortar store, as you can see right here. There's the corner of it. I'm sitting in here somewhere, so talking to you as we speak. And not too far from the beach that I showed you at the beginning. Anyways, give us a call, and as you can see, we have another phone number that's 954-776-COIN. Easy one to remember. Call us there as well. We do gold, silver, precious metals, rare coins, and some other things. Hey, listen, have a great weekend. Thanks for listening to me. Please, any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section below. I'd love to answer any questions you have publicly, or just call me here at my number. I'll answer them privately. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great, safe weekend. Check back in with me Monday, and let's see what happened.